Good morning. I would just like to welcome you all to this year's annual graduation ceremony. Before the ceremony commences, could I draw your attention to page 27 of the programme, which gives instructions on emergency procedures to follow in the event of a fire. Could I ask you to all turn off your mobile phones before the start of the ceremony? And I'd also like to remind you that there was a celebration for all graduates and guests over at the Grimsby Minster after the ceremony, and we will process through the town to the Minster. Could you please stand as the platform party enters? Please be seated. Erica Stoddart, Chair of Governors for the University Centre Grimsby, will give the opening address.
Good morning, everybody, and it's lovely to see so many of you here this morning on this wonderful, bright, but a bit cold day. I just want to welcome first our principal guest, Professor David Gibson, Entrepreneurship, OBE. Also, the Deputy Mayor of the Borough of North East Lincolnshire, Councillor Terry Walker, Associate Dean Education, Dr. Claire Hookham, and also other distinguished guests, tutors, senior staff, governors, support officers, students, and of course the family. And also a special thank you to staff that have actually helped put on this graduation today. It is lovely to see so many people attending today to see our students graduate. Thank you to family and friends who have supported our graduates. And I know how important it is that family and friends do support. I was a late developer myself. I left with 4 O-levels from school. I took A-levels at 27, I then took an accountancy qualification at 28, and finally a postgraduate diploma in my 40s. And without the help of my husband, often when I was sitting there almost like crying because I had to get an assignment out the door, I would not have been where I am today. So I do know how important it is, and I'm sure the graduates feel that as well. Education is the key to a door that you can now unlock. And it's the one thing, regardless of where you start from, that can change your life chances. And that's why it's great to see so many people graduating today. It is our privilege to share this with you today, and I want to say a special thank you to the tutors and support staff who have supported and nurtured you through often stressful times. I will now hand back over to our compere Nathan to continue the ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. We will now move on to the presentation of the academic prizes. The following prizes will be presented by Professor David Gibson, OBE, our principal guest. The Wendy Stubbs Memorial Prize for High Achievement on MBU's Strategic Business Environment goes to Adam Hudacek. The John Sunley Memorial Prize for Outstanding Commitment on BA Honours Business Management goes to Meadow Flint. The E-Factor Group Award for Outstanding Achievement on BA Business Management with Accounting goes to Emma Gilman. That concludes the Academic Prizes presentation today. We will now move on to the presentation of the awards. The University of Hull Awards will be conferred by Associate Dean Education, Dr. Claire Hookham. All of the awards will be presented by our principal guest. Well, here you are. It's putting right off my pace. MBuzz Strategic Business Environment with First Class Honours, Adam Hudacek. On BA Honours Business Management, Meadow Flint. Melissa Newson. Bethany Palmer. Rosie Scott. Mark Smith. Gemma Spithe. Ellie Spivey. On BA Honours Business Management with Accounting, Joshua Barraclough. With First Class Honours, Emma Blythe. With First Class Honours, Enna Gilman. With First Class Honours, Michael Tyson. On BA Honours Business Management with Marketing, Dane Bampy. Taya Bates. Marius Laguna Vicious. Sophie Davis. William Rayson. Wayne Smith. On BA Honours, Tourism and Business Management Top-Up, Megan Chapman. Kaylee Don Skoyshins. Chloe Gold. Angelica Kaknowicz. Jessica Landry. Tyler Woods. On postgraduate certificate in education, teaching in the lifelong learning sector, Emma Bailey. Daniel Carter. Hayley Sajid. Zhang Weichen. Cheryl Eade. Samuel Eggleston. Daniel Felton. Gareth Hannon. Lisa Hodds. Sarah Howard. Sherry Jewett. Jodie Marks. Ashley Meekan. Vanessa Newbert. Alison Riley. Jasmine Ritchie. Marie Shaw. Chloe Tate. Matthew Tuck. Rahila Usman. On professional graduate certificate in education, teaching the lifelong learning sector, Gemma Gill. Rachel Robinson. Siobhan Small. Hannah Thorpe. On Certificate in Education, teaching the lifelong learning sector, Emily Arund. Karen Porter. Could I ask our principal guests to give out the next award? On Foundation Degree Tourism Management, Abby Bedford. Hannah Dixon. Morgan Dibble. On Higher National Diploma, Animal Management, Isaac Belcher. Kay Burnell Chambers. Kate Cribb. With distinction, Lucy Dix. With distinction, Catherine Gooderham. With distinction, Lauren Sanderson. On Higher National Certificate Animal Management, Bethan Gray. Abby Lee Johnson. And that concludes the presentation of the awards. I would now like to ask Principal Guest, Professor David Gibson, OBE, to give the address.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's a real honor to be here. May I first, congratulate all the graduates who have done tremendously well, maybe sometimes against difficult odds, to have achieved their degrees and changed things in their life. Lovely to meet you, all the relatives and parents who are here supporting them. I hope you're really proud of them. And I'm having difficulty. This is only my second day in Grimsby. I've sort of been falling in love with Grimsby and the Grimsby Institute. I do have to go home tonight, but I think this is a wonderful institute. I've had a great experience here and a wonderful area. I love your civic pride. I love the way people take pride in Grimsby. Love your local area. I believe at times there have been economic struggles. It's not easy and at times in certain areas, but people love their area, and there's a lot happening here. And if you have this civic pride and work together, I do believe in great possibilities. But I've met, certainly within the Institute, great senior management, great students. I had a chance to work with students. One of them asked me a question which made me cry, which I will talk about in a minute. It was so penetrating and such a difficult question. That was a student level 4. Absolutely brilliant staff. I was able to go to a community of practice forum of staff, and really everyone cares, everyone's together here. And it's all about you people going out there who've achieved your degree and what you go on to do. I'm going to talk a little bit about my own career and what has happened. I'll try and not go on all day about it, but a few points before I make some suggestions as to what happens with you. In one sense, I've been very lucky, but as you can imagine from the strange accent, I'm actually not from England. Originally, I'm from Northern Ireland, which is a very strange place. I'm from a humble background. I'm brought up, I suppose, a child of the Troubles. We had all these troubles and all these bombs and all these disagreements, which haven't been sorted out, but not an easy place to come up with or come from. I suppose one of the good things could be, if at times if a place is difficult, is that it can make you strong, that you become able to survive, and you're eager to learn and move forward. My educational background, I started off in FE and eventually went through the kind of educational system to qualify to be an accountant, mainly to set up my own business. I wasn't really that interested in I saw it as a way into business. I did very well at it, yet my main fascination really was in helping people develop. Why did some of my clients, why did their business survive? Why did it not? Was any of it down to the person and their strengths and weaknesses? And gradually, I developed a kind of model of how someone could be successful entrepreneurially or not. What were the differences? What skills did they have to have? And I was quite keen, and I was very lucky. I got offered a lot of money by Big Practice to buy my practice, and I jumped at it and gradually worked my way into the university sector. I ended up in this very posh university. It's like, I'm not sure what the Yorkshire version is. Maybe it's the University of Leeds, but it's sort of Oxford or Cambridge of Northern Ireland, called Queen's, at a very lowly position. And I thought it was nice. Actually, my mother was quite proud. I was going to work in a posh university, even. I was very badly paid and very much at the bottom of the system. And I was 40. I wasn't as young as many of those people at that stage. And I found a week after I went in there that the university had got £1 million from Ofsted. This great institute here is outstanding. Was rated outstanding by Ofsted. And they were meant to make the university entrepreneurial, and students were meant to learn entrepreneurial skills. And they were bottom of the league, and Ofsted were claiming the money back next week. And I was only in the place 3 days, and I was asked, what are you going to do about it? Nobody told me before I started the job, otherwise I probably wouldn't have taken it. Well, as you know, what life throws you things, you either go with it, or you do your best or not. So I decided to go with it. And I'm very happy to say that somehow I managed to create this way where any student could learn to think like an entrepreneur or be innovative. Not necessarily start be a business, but if you did animal management, if you did journalism, if you did creative arts, if you did engineering, obviously, but whatever you did, teacher trainers, I taught them to think entrepreneurially and develop my model in the curriculum. Eventually, over 95% of all students did it every year. And the results were amazing in how they changed their life round. Many did start businesses, many went freelance, many were very successful in their career. They learnt to be innovative. And I went and did the same eventually then in Liverpool, with Liverpool John Moores, very different civic university, where over 1,500 staff and 20,000 students were working on civic projects to improve Liverpool, to improve healthcare, to help businesses, to work in the justice system. And I suppose I learned a lot. What's happened out of all that, this idea of learning to think like an entrepreneur and learning to be innovative is very big worldwide. I'm one of the main advisors to the Chinese government now in this, as they try to implement. It's been implemented in the Middle East. And really, it's all important because we've got the best, I believe, education system in the world, in the UK. We need to be ahead. You need, and you are the important people to take it ahead. You graduates. So what are the lessons that I'm leaving for you is, I'm not suggesting to you, some of you thinking, so is he telling us you all must start your own business? Do I need to go say I'm saying, no. What you need to be is continue to be a lifelong learner. You need to learn to be creative. You need to keep learning. You need to try new things. And you need to realize that the good thing, not all of you will have guaranteed jobs for life. You're in a different world. You're in the knowledge economy where you might work a few years, maybe in education, then you might work in a social enterprise, and you might work in a company. Things will keep changing, and there are all sorts of links, but you will have international possibilities. So many things are there for you. You must grasp that and love your subject. And the key abilities you must have that I have learned to make the best of your life and your career are two things. Passion. Do what you love. You might be doing, let's say you're doing teaching, you think, well, maybe I should have did business and I would have maybe, would that have been better money or whatever? Well, for me, probably the people I admire most are the lifelong learning teachers. That's the ultimate skill. Everyone needs to be lifelong learners, no matter who they are, what to do, and you need to guide them. So it's all about you building on your success. You've had to have some struggles to get through here. You've made it to this. Go on and make that contribution to Grimsby and to the world. You can do it. Be the best animal manager. Be the best lifelong teacher. Be the best business graduate in whichever area of business. But keep learning and developing. You're the talent. You're the people who can make things happen for Grimsby, for the UK, and the world. I am honoured to meet you. Please enjoy your day. But wow, what a contribution you can make to the world. You are the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. I would now like to ask Alison Riley to give the student vote of thanks.
Well, how do I follow that? That was fantastic, thank you. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for coming. Nice to see you all. It's so lovely and slightly terrifying to see so many here I can't even talk, I'm sorry. To see so many here of you today for the momentous occasion of our graduation. Heart rate's at 120. When I was asked to give the vote of thanks, I was asked to say a little bit about my journey while studying at Grimsby Institute of Further and Higher Education. Well, my journey began on the Performing Arts BTEC many, many years ago, in 1995. In fact, I bet some of you graduating today weren't even born then. Back then, I'll be honest, my academic studies were not the top of my priority list. My main focus was making sure that I finished my assignments by 10:30 p.m. on deadline day so I could get to the pub before last orders were called. True story. I left everything until last minute, and my first draft was generally what got handed in. I can see a few people are seeing where I'm coming from there. Anyway, fast forward 18 years, and I was encouraged by my fiancée, Anjali, to enrol on the Postgraduate Certificate of Education at Grimsby Institute to become a teacher of performing arts. And actually, my placement was on the course that I originally started out on with the BTEC Performing Arts. I decided this time I was going to live the student life to the full, but this time I was going to focus on my studies and actually redraft the work and grab every opportunity that came my way. Fortunately, at Grimsby Institute, there were a lot of opportunities. I felt honoured to be elected as student rep for my class and also to serve on the student council. It was a privilege to speak on behalf of the student body and to know that our voices were heard. Academic study can be challenging at any level, but returning to education after almost 2 decades away was daunting, to say the least. Grimsby learners are fortunate to have plenty of extra support available, such as learner mentors, coaches, and the wonderful LRC staff who are always available to offer guidance, support, and if or when necessary, a shoulder to cry on. In addition to the support staff, I must show gratitude to the tutors, with a special mention to my tutors. Oh, I promised I wouldn't cry. Emma and Carolyn. Thank you for everything that you did to guide myself and my classmates to becoming outstanding teachers. And thank you for your passion and enthusiasm. To all the families that have witnessed the pressure of studying for a degree. To the partners that have gone to bed alone while we stayed up late, desperately trying to submit or even log on to Canvas. To the children who got enrolled onto every after-school club so that we could stay a bit later. Thank you, Tia. To my family who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Thank you for the unconditional love and excellent proofreading skills. Finally, to my classmates, my friends. The folk in here in the caps and gowns, you're the ones who truly appreciate what I've been through. I can't see now because of the tears. You've been there too. I think that we've all had bad days, days when we didn't think we could do it, when we were ready to throw in the towel. I know I did on more than one occasion, but you were there cheering me on, holding me up, not letting me fall. You know who you are. We've all had difficulties to overcome. Throughout the PGCE, I suffered with nerves and anxiety. I know, you can't believe it, can you? I'm so confident. It wasn't so much when I was teaching, that was easy. But when I needed to stand up and present my work to my peers, a little bit like now, sometimes I literally broke down. But you were there to pick me up, dust me off, and remind me that I am capable. We are all so capable. The proof is here today. We did it. We put in the hours and hours and hours of hard work and study, and we made it happen for ourselves. What an amazing achievement. I feel that my life purpose is to create positivity. And with that in mind, I'd like to share a quote from Deborah Day that I think is very fitting in this occasion. Encourage, lift, and strengthen one another, for the positive energy spread to one will be felt by all. For all of us, today is a celebration of 2, 3, 4, or even more years of hard graft. It hasn't always been easy, and every one of us have faced barriers along the way. But the important thing is that we kept going. We've proved that we're more than capable, and when we put our minds to it, we can achieve great things. So on behalf of the class of 2018, I would like to offer my heartfelt thanks. So who's getting the first round in? Dad?
Thank you, Alison. I would now like to introduce Jill Alton, OBE, Chief Executive of the University Centre Grimsby, who will conclude the ceremony.
I could say the same, follow that. Brilliant, brilliant speech. Thank you so much. I can't really begin to tell you how privileged I am to be standing here today. I know this is a really special day for you all, for your family, for your friends, for your tutors who supported you, and I really want you to enjoy every minute of it, and particularly the celebration this afternoon and later this evening. When I look back on my own life, I remember my mother always telling me that education is so important because it changes lives. And I think we've heard that today, just how much it changes lives. But I used to think at the time that it was just one of her pet sayings, and I didn't necessarily really engage with it. But my God, do I engage with it now? I couldn't endorse my mother's saying any more than I do. And I think, learning, education is just such a powerful way of enhancing lives and enhancing who you are. So thanks, Mum. I come from a relatively humble upbringing, as many of us do, and we didn't have much money because my father died very young, and my mother had to bring up 4 young children. But there was a common theme throughout the childhood, and that was her belief that education changes lives, and you know, I do believe that it will give you a good future. Education is the grounding for a good future. But I would like to sort of ask you now, particularly the graduates, to just think about when people ask you who inspires you in life, just think for a minute who that is. I suspect some of you will think of the high-profile people, Richard Branson, Bill Gates, people like that. But actually, I would want you to think about the people. If I phrased it differently and I said, who's had the most positive impact on your life? I suspect the people you'll now think about are your family, your friends, hopefully your tutors, but the people who've made a real difference to you, who've cajoled you, encouraged you, persuaded you, been a shoulder to cry on, actually giving you a bit of a shake when there's those moments that you start to falter and you need to get back on track. But those people are probably the people who have helped you get here today. And what I would say to you is you've probably been a pain along the way in these last few years, and now is the time to say thank you to those people who have made that difference, who've given you a bit of tough love at times, but who have also been there for you. So one plea from me today is to just go and say thank you to those people who've really made a difference to you. I think the other thing I would say is you're about to embark on the next stage of your life. And you are hopefully equipped with what I call ABC. It's easy for me to remember. And A is ability, and you've demonstrated that today because you are now qualified. You've done really well. We've heard lots of firsts today. That is just brilliant. You've got belief. You've done it. You know you can do it. You've got a future ahead of you. And you need commitment. Things won't always be easy, but actually with commitment, you'll see it through. Commitment and dedication. I should say A, B, C, D, really, shouldn't I? You'll do it. And all these factors are really important in your future success. But I'd also implore you not to lose your passion for learning. We've heard about lifelong learning. It is so important. You will have many opportunities to develop through your life, and just grab them. You know how important it is, and it will help you grow and grow. So in summary, I really hope we have prepared you not only for your career, but to be a stronger and more confident citizen. And be powerful and passionate about Grimsby. Grimsby it's had a real influence on you. We would love to keep in touch with you. We'd love to hear your successes. And I hope you have a fabulous day and then come back and tell us about your successes. But if you've decided to have a breather, and some of you will, some of you are juggling numerous things and you'll decide you're just going to have a little bit of a slowdown. Remember what Confucius said. It doesn't matter how slowly you go, just don't stop. I wish you every success. Have a great day. Remember to thank those people who've been around for you. And I'm very, very proud of you. On behalf of the Institute, thank you for choosing us. And I wish you every success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. That brings this morning's ceremony to an end. Can I remind you that there's a celebration for all graduates and guests over at the Grimsby Minster after the ceremony, and we'll be processing through the town to the Minster. Please follow instructions from the marshals en route. Could guests please stand whilst the procession leaves the ceremony hall?